welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. We got the NFL star that physically couldn't drop the ball. Let's check this
what if
out.
I told you there was an NFL wide receiver
That boy Larry
who
Fitz
physically could not drop a pass? A receiver so reliable, he had more career tackles than drops.
Wait, dead ass?
You heard that right. Larry Fitzgerald wasn't the strongest or the fastest player on the field.
Hey, one of the greatest playoff performers of all time, bro.
More.
Have you ever seen him drop a pass?
No, not even in practice.
He built a Hall of Fame career on consistency, class, and hands that seemed almost magnetic.
Hey, this nigga better get inducted into the Hall of Fame next year, bro. I promise you that.
Achieve what most
better,
thought was
or we gonna
impossible.
riot. Real
To find
shit.
out, we have to go back to Minneapolis, Minnesota, where Larry Fitzgerald Jr. was born. His father, Larry Sr., was a well-known
MJ.
sports writer. So that meant Larry Jr. didn't grow up just dreaming of football greatness. He grew up around it. You see, Larry's dad hosted then Vikings head coach Dennis Green's weekly radio show. And one day, Larry, as a young teen, worked up the courage to ask the coach if he could be the team's ball boy. Green said yes, but with a warning. I'm not giving you this job because of your dad. If you want to be out here, you've got to take it seriously. And that's exactly what Larry did. He wasn't just mindlessly handing out water or chasing loose balls. He was locked in, watching, learning, studying greatness in real time. Up close, he watched Chris Carter and Randy Moss, two of the best receivers of all time, and soaked in how they moved, how they practiced, and how they prepared. Carter, who was known for having the best hands in the league, took young Larry under his wing, running him through drills and giving him pointers on how to improve his game. By his junior year of high school, Larry already looked like a pro. He was a two-time first-team All-State wide receiver, putting up big numbers and drawing serious attention from college recruiters. But there was one thing holding him back. His grades. Despite all the talent, Larry didn't meet the NCAA's academic requirement to play Division I football. And just like that, his dreams of playing college football hit a wall. But Larry didn't make excuses.
What was his GPA?
He made a plan. He enrolled at Valley Forge Military Academy for a post-grad year. It wasn't easy. Strict rules, military structure, early mornings, cold weather. But Larry embraced it. He got his academics in order, and by the end of the school year, he committed to Pitt. From the moment Fitzgerald stepped on the field for Pittsburgh, he looked like a grown man playing amongst kids.
Damn.
In 2 seasons, Larry racked up 2,677 receiving yards, 34 touchdowns, and a ridiculous streak of 18 straight games with a touchdown catch. An NCAA record at the time. He won the Blitnikoff Award, which is given to the best wide receiver in the country record at the time. He won the Blitnikoff Award.
Nigga, that's elite ball tracking right there.
Which is given to the best wide receiver in the country, and was a Heisman finalist as just a sophomore. NFL scouts were drooling. He wasn't the fastest guy on the field, but he had the best body control, the best hands, and the best work ethic. In 2004, the Arizona Cardinals held the 3rd overall pick in the draft. They had a million needs: quarterback, defense, offensive line. But their head coach, Dennis Green, the same man who gave Larry the opportunity to be a ball boy in Minnesota, had a different idea. He wanted Larry Fitzgerald.
Story came back full circle.
They were getting, and the Cardinals didn't hesitate. They took Fitzgerald with the 3rd overall pick, ahead of guys like Phillip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger, and Sean Taylor. And from the moment Larry stepped into the desert, he never looked back. Larry's rookie season wasn't flashy by today's standards. 58 catches for 780 yards and 8 touchdowns. But if you watch the games, you knew the stats didn't tell the full story. He had to catch passes from 3 different quarterbacks: Josh McCown, Sean King, and Josh Navarre, none of whom exactly lit up the scoreboard. But it didn't matter. Fitzgerald still ran crisp routes, boxed out corners like a power forward, and made impossible catches look routine. But in 2005, his second pro season, Fitzgerald truly broke out. He had a league-leading 103 catches for 1,409 yards and 10 touchdowns. At just 22 years old, he became the youngest player to ever record 100 receptions in a season and was named to his first Pro Bowl. But what stood out even more was his reliability. He didn't drop passes. He didn't complain about the team's instability at quarterback. He didn't seek the spotlight or attention like we see a lot of top receivers do. He just caught the ball again and again and again. After dealing with a hamstring injury the following season, Larry came back with a vengeance in 2007, yet again hauling in 100 catches for 1,409 yards and 10 touchdowns. Alongside teammate Anquan Bolden, Fitzgerald formed one of the most dangerous wide receiver duos in the NFL. They were physical, precise, and nearly impossible to defend. But while most receivers had the occasional drop, Fitzgerald didn't. He wasn't just consistent, he was flawless. And over the next decade, that became the norm. There were entire seasons where Larry Fitzgerald didn't drop a single pass. Not one. Through Larry's first 4 seasons in the league, the Cardinals had never posted a winning record. No matter how great he was, the team just couldn't get over the hump. But in 2008, everything changed. With Kurt Warner locked in as the full-time starter, Fitzgerald went nuclear, racking up 96 catches for 1,431 yards and a league-leading 12 touchdowns. He wasn't just good, he was uncoverable.
Oh my God!
He was uncoverable. Fitzgerald earned his 3rd Pro Bowl nod and was named a first-team All-Pro for the first time in his career. But more importantly, the Warner-Fitzgerald connection sparked a turnaround in Arizona. The Cardinals finished 9-7, their first winning season in a decade, and clinched the NFC West title, securing their first playoff appearance since 1998. In the wildcard round against the Falcons, Fitzgerald hauled in over 100 receiving yards and a touchdown, which helped lift the Cardinals to a hard-fought win. But almost no one expected them to go any further. The next week in the divisional round, Arizona faced the 2-seed Panthers and entered the game as 10-point underdogs. Most thought their Cinderella run was about to end. But Larry had other plans. In that divisional round matchup, Fitzgerald hauled in 8 catches for 166 yards and a score, as the Cardinals dominated the Panthers 33-13. So somehow, against all odds, the Cardinals were headed to the NFC Championship game. But even after their blowout win a week prior, they still weren't favored to win. But once again, Larry silenced the doubters. He put on a masterclass, 9 catches, 152 yards, and 3 touchdowns, tying the NFL record for the most.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I low-key feel bad for like this generation growing up that they will never get to see Larry Fitzgerald play, bro. Like, bro, him, Julio, Megatron, AB, all them boys. Cause like watching this nigga play ball, bro, it's just mesmerizing. I'm not gonna lie.
Single playoff game. It was like
he wasn't the flashiest.
And it carried the Cardinals to
he ain't really had drip like that. Like look at the helmet, but that boy could ball.
The team that had barely squeaked into the playoffs was now headed to the Super Bowl. In the big game, the Cardinals were set to go head-to-head with the best defensive team in the league. The Pittsburgh Steelers.
We all remember this game.
This Steelers defense was really good, like historically good. One of the best defenses of the 21st century. So, as you could have guessed, the Cardinals were once again underdogs, this time by 6.5 points. And for most of this game, the Steelers defense locked down the Cardinals offense. With just over 7 minutes left in the 4th quarter, the Cardinals trailed 20-7. Their Super Bowl dreams were slipping away, and they needed points fast. That's when Larry stepped up, like he always did. He came down with a crucial touchdown catch, cutting the deficit to 1 score and breathing life back into Arizona's hopes. Then, with 2:48 left in the game, the Cardinals were down 4 at their own 35. Larry ran a slant route, caught the pass, and took it 64 yards to the house to give Arizona a 3.
The fuck just happened? Alright, we back. I don't know what the fuck that was. I ain't gonna lie.
For a moment, it felt like destiny. Larry Fitzgerald had just willed the Cardinals to a Super Bowl victory. But then Santonio Holmes happened. With just 35 seconds left, Holmes made an all-time great toe tap
greatest
catches
in Super Bowl history.
stealing the lead and the championship right out of Arizona's hands. It was a heartbreaking loss, but the playoff run had turned Fitzgerald into a legend. He broke Jerry Rice's record for the most catches, most receiving yards, and most touchdowns in a single postseason.
Really?
What makes this record-breaking stretch even more unbelievable is the fact that Larry was playing with a broken thumb and torn cartilage.
Nigga,
in
what?
his hand. He was essentially catching passes with one good hand. And
I ain't gonna lie, that's
still didn't
tough.
drop the
That's
ball.
tough.
The following year, 2009, the Cardinals went 10-7 and
You
once
got
again won
niggas stubbing they toe and be out for half the season.
NFC West.
Like,
In the
bruh.
wild card round versus the Packers, Fitzgerald once again stepped up, catching 2 clutch touchdowns in the third quarter, which helped lead his team to a thrilling overtime victory. But unfortunately, the following week, their season ended after a blowout loss versus the 1-seed Saints. Despite Larry being a Pro Bowler the next 4 seasons, the Cardinals failed to make the playoffs. In 2014, the team finally returned to the postseason, but their starter Carson Palmer was hurt. So with third-string quarterback Ryan Lindley under center, Arizona fell to the Panthers in the first round. The following year, Palmer was back, and the Cardinals became one of the best teams in the NFL, going 3-13 during the regular season. Fitzgerald was Palmer's go-to guy. He held in 109 catches for 1,215 yards and 9 scores. Then came the playoffs. Their divisional round matchup with the Packers went to overtime after Rodgers completed a Hail Mary to tie the game with no time.
All it
left
took
on
was
the
2
clock.
plays for
In
Larry
overtime,
Fitz
the
to stick the
Cardinals
knife
got the
in.
ball first, and they needed to respond. And that's exactly what Larry Fitzgerald did. On the first play, he caught the ball and took it 75 yards down to the 5. Then, on the very next play, he caught a shovel pass and took it into the end zone for the game-winning score. Larry finished that game with 8 catches for an insane 176 yards and 1 score. The following week, in the NFC Championship game, the Cardinals were destroyed 15-1 by the Panthers, ending their magical season. You see, most receivers' play falls off a cliff in their 30s, but not Larry Fitzgerald. He aged like fine wine. From age 32 to 35, he had 3 straight 100-catch seasons. And in 2016, at age 33, he led the entire league with 107 grabs. I mean, a ton of receivers are washed or either retired at that age. And here Larry was outperforming guys a decade younger than him. After the 2020 season, at 37 years old, Fitzgerald retired. He finished his career with 1,432 catches and just 29 drops, which means he, a wide receiver, had more career tackles, 41, than drops. Larry played his entire career with the
I ain't gonna lie, that's
Cardinals.
even crazier in its own right. That nigga had 41 tackles. That goes to show you how bad the quarterback play was, bro. Because that nigga always had to make a tackle because somebody throwing a fucking pick.
In his 17
Like, bro.
seasons there, he caught passes from 20 different quarterbacks,
Damn!
including Skelton, Max Hall, Kevin Kolb, Ryan Lindley, Drew Stanton, and Josh Rosen. Most superstars would have demanded a trade.
Nah,
but
dead ass.
Fitzgerald
I know I
didn't.
would have.
He stayed loyal to the team, to the fans, and to the city. Even though he caught passes from a ton of subpar quarterbacks, Larry still has the 2nd most receptions and 2nd most receiving yards in NFL history, only behind the greatest to ever do it, Jerry Rice. And outside of the numbers, Fitzgerald might have just been the most universally beloved NFL player ever. He was respected by everyone, fans of rival teams, coaches, teammates, and opposing players. He may not have a Super Bowl ring, but when it comes to consistency, reliability, and class, no one did it better. And when we talk about the greatest wide receivers ever, don't forget about Larry Fitzgerald, because greatness isn't always loud. Sometimes it shows up, makes the play, and just jogs back to the huddle. If you want to know how the shortest player in the NFL
This is a
dominated and
W-ass video.
shattered records, check out this video up here.
Hey man, shit. Wanna know what you guys think down in the comments below? Y'all let me know what other NFL videos I'm to react to. Without further ado, I'm out.
I'ma make them feel me, make them people when they show me. And if you don't know me, I'ma make sure that you know me. I hate to say it, but I really think I'm broke. But I know I'm chosen, I really know I'm chosen. I know I'm chosen. I was just lost a year ago, but now I'm focused. When good at sports, this microphone can be my trophy. Not taking drugs, I found a better way of coping.